Hello everyone, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and thanks for tuning in into Game 1 in a series between Roxkis' Titan versus TSL's Hyun here on Metropolis. Game 1 in what I know to be a really good series. Unfortunately, I cast the first 3 games, but there were some audio issues, so I am recasting these. Hopefully, I did take a long enough break to not remember everything, and I will be as excited to cast these games for you. So we see Titan spawning as the green Protoss player here at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, TSL's Hyun spawning as the red Zerg. Zerg versus Protoss, one of those games where, or one of those matchups where you really need to force the Zerg. As a Protoss player in this situation, you need to make sure that you don't allow a Zerg player to overexpand and really get that Zerg engine up and running. Zerg players can get to 200 supply faster than any other race just because of how many drones they are able to train up at a time, how easy it is for them to expand, and how easy it is for them to instantly create an army once their initial army is destroyed, as long as they are constantly hitting those injects. Protoss really either needs to try to out-expand their opponent or just try and hold off until they get higher tech. If they have higher tech, they can start trading very effectively and efficiently up against a Zerg player, as the Zerg player, even though they have a very strong economy, their units generally cost a larger amount of food, or a larger amount of supply. And as their supply gets, or as their supply gets higher and higher, or more evened out, the Protoss player ends up getting the advantage. We now see a low ground hatchery being established here by TSL Hyun. I believe it is a 15 hatch here on Metropolis. Overlord quickly scouts out that his opponent is not close by air. So it will end up being a full cross spawn, as we now see a Nexus come in from Titan. I like the play by Titan. Titan opting to go for a gasless expand. He should be able to train up a Zealot, get up that Cybernetics core. He's not going to delay his Warp Gate tech nearly as much. And we'll see what's added on this front door off over here. Now, it looks as though, no, the drone is just patrolling here. It is not going to really spot anything. And one thing as of late, Zerg players often try to expand very, very early against Protoss a second time. And it looks like that will be the case. A lot of Zerg players in general have been able to figure out and how to defeat a fast expanding Protoss by establishing another expansion of their own. You can see that Hyun establishing up a third base just as the second base was completed, and he will end up being one more base ahead of his opponent as Titan now fortifies at his natural expansion. One Zealot here, Cybernetics core, and a Forge. Zerglings will have a very difficult time getting in. Most likely we'll see a cannon being placed down right behind it. Zerglings will not be able to take down this front door very easily at all, especially with that Zealot dealing damage back. It is going to be a 2-base Protoss versus a 3-base Zerg. The probe now looking, and will the probe be smart enough to scout out that third base? No, I do not believe it has. No, it has not yet, as Zerglings are coming over to chase down that one particular probe. The probe does have a little bit of a head start, so it should be able to run all the way back home, as TSL's Hyun now finishing up this hatchery here at what I'll call the 2 o'clock position. 3-base Zerg versus 2-base Protoss. Harvester count 24 compared to 28. That chrono boost coming in from Protoss really helping out with the overall economy, but we'll see how quickly that changes unless Titan does force a lot of units to be trained. 7 drones now being trained at a time. A hatchery also building down, getting up another queen. The queens are just being very defensive, making sure to constantly hit those injects. Nope, I take it back. Hyun not hitting an inject at his natural, opting to go for a creep tumor now, and wanting to establish a very strong creep highway. Zergling chasing after one poor probe over there. The Zealot now coming back over. It doesn't look like metabolic boost has been started, as we are finally starting to get gas from Hyun. Hyun really going on a very heavy economic game, as you now see another 9 drones being trained. This crazy amount of droning coming in from Zerg is really going to help them in the long run, as his economy may simply be too much to stop. Robotics facility now coming online. We'll see if we are going to be going into double observers, perhaps following into a robotics bay for Colossi. Colossi really going to be needed in order to stop all of the sheer production value that Hyun will be able to train up. You can see that the one robotics facility about to be completed here. You can see a large amount of gas still saved up. We are going into the robotics bay, and now are we going to be going to perhaps some observers for some scouting information. Titan does have a good amount of sentries as well. Sentries, force fields able to split and divide an army and perhaps corral them and force them to take damage from those colossi as level 1 weapons upgrade being completed. Harvester count still uneven, 51 compared to 46, especially when you know that Hyun is benefiting from less diminishing returns. He is mining away at 24 mineral patches compared to 16, and a 10 supply advantage between these two armies. Pylons now revealing the outside the fog of war of their own main base. We are going into one observer, a robotics bay now being established, as we are teching into tier 2 from Hyun. So Hyun getting up to tier 2, also getting up a macro hatch, will benefit from more larvae as well, as Hyun has just been sitting inside his base. His army size, both players' army size, are rather small, but Titan has still spent significantly more on his army. Hyun, on the other hand, has 64 drones now compared to 49, and you cannot allow a Zerg player to drone up this heavily. You now see Hyun taking an unnecessary 4th base, and this is really going to force an engagement. If Titan spots this, he needs to take down this hatchery, but Hyun can perhaps trade inefficiently there, as Titan will be forced to bring over a lot of units, and if Hyun can get in a semi-decent trade for those units, he may be able to just push back and destroy his opponent, as we now see level 1 weapons upgrade about to be completed on these zealots, sentries, and all other ground units. Extended thermal lance range now coming in. Hyun sitting at 100 supply now compared to 86. 69 drones compared to 50 probes. Probes are no longer being trained, so Titan trying to do a 2-base timing, but this 2-base timing may just fall very, very flat. Even if he gets 1 base at this point, if he's able to shut down 1 base, he will still be behind 3 to 2 bases. And especially with TSL Hyun sitting on over or about 50 additional harvesters, that's going to be too much. And now we are even going into a Spire. So Hyun going to be able to train up a lot of corruptors to take down those colossi, and that may just be a completely moot point, as an overseer now doing a quick flyby is going to be able to scout out everything pretty much. Stalkers will be able to finish down that one overseer there, but I believe a lot of scouting information has been revealed. The colossi were spotted, robotics facility, extended thermal lance range, most likely the research was completed by then, as we are now going into level 2 weapons upgrade. If Titan really needs to take down these destructible rocks and establish a 3rd at the same time he pushes out. He is currently behind by 40 supply, and that 40 supply advantage may simply be too much. One Zergling going to fall at the Zelnaga tower here, and now we'll see if Zerglings are able to perhaps chase or push back against this front door. You're going to see 2 Colossi plus Zealots, Sentries, and Stalkers. Those units are now forced to do a bit of a retreat. There is one Observer over here on the high ground to keep track of this Overlord. Roaches moving very, very quickly, having the level 1 weapons advantage or upgrade, will be able to beat out these Stalkers pretty easily, as now the Roaches are going after some Zealots, taking it down as well. That Colossi has to be, or one Colossus has to be careful, as we now see an engagement off over here as well. Beautiful force fields coming in from Titan. Still a 50 supply difference, as these Roaches are going to have a very, very bad day. No, it looks like they're trying to split this army. The Roaches are moving very quickly after that Colossus. The Colossus may get taken down to 19 hit points, and if this one Colossus survives, this will be a very interesting story, as the Colossi still deals a lot of damage. The Colossus now moving back, but a new Colossus accidentally runs within range of the Roaches. The Colossus now coming back over, and another Colossus at 2 hit points survives. Titan getting very, very lucky. He needs to maximize the damage on those Colossi. He currently has 4. 2 of them are very, very low hit points. They will perhaps get sniped down in just a matter of seconds, as we now see Hyun is going to be forced to just lose this hatchery off over here, but he still has a base to give, as it is 4 bases to 2. Roach is now coming in from a counterattack. One proxy pylon. Oh, looks like it will get taken down. The Colossi now looking to engage off over here. You can see Stalkers are quickly blinking into this drone hatchery location here. But now the Colossi is cut off from any more reinforcements. No proxy pylon. Any units will be forced to pass through this unit here, as Zerglings are going to perhaps try to clean up this one pylon off over here. Colossi, and it looks as though, yes, the shields have completely regenerated on one of the two Colossi. A second one not too far behind, and that means that the Colossi will be able to tank a little bit more damage before it falls. Stalkers now getting caught in transit once more as the Stalkers are blinking away, and now Titan is in a dangerous situation. Corruptors are engaging. Stalkers are going to try to blink it down, but Hyun still has a lot of money in the bank, a 40 supply advantage, and it looks as though once those Corruptors are perhaps able to finish off the Colossi, the Roaches are just going to continue to push in here, and Hyun with a 40 supply advantage continuing his pressure. 17 more Roaches now being trained. That is an addition of 34 supply. Stalkers now trying to run away. The Stalkers do have blink, but do they have anywhere to run is the key question. Will the Stalkers be able to get away? The Roaches do move slightly faster with the Glio reconstitution. Stalkers trying to get away now. Are they going to be able to blink? 3 Stalkers do get away. The remaining 4 get stuck on the high ground here, as this is not traversable terrain. And now the Stalkers leave behind all of their brethren. 186 supply compared to 77. That 2-base timing attack not effective at all. Titan now looking to go into level 3 weapons upgrade, but no, I believe he already knows how far behind he is, and Hyun easily takes game 1 in this series. So Hyun losing game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for game 2.